Welcome to the Pirate 30, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mason.
I'm Jake.
We're going to go over all of your favorite ECU sports in 30 minutes or less. We're going to talk about the football game today, and we're going to hit at a few sports coming up soon at the end of the episode. All right, last week versus UNCC, we saw a very good defensive game for both sides. It was a 10-7 ball game. A bit different this week, as we're going to get into. But Jake, what did you think about what we saw from the defenses last week?
Last week during the home game, it was very defensive dominant. There wasn't much scoring going on at all. What was the final score? 10-7?
10-7, yeah.
I was like, what is this, baseball?
Yeah.
This week
This
week was much better. It was almost like we were scoring back to back, like each drive. Points were getting put on the board.
Absolutely loved what we saw from the offense coming into the game. The start that we had this game, this is one of the best offensive starts we've seen from the Pirates all season.
Yeah.
We came out, Alex Flynn looked amazing. This was the first start that one of the first starts I've seen from him this season where I was actually very impressed. We had a large gain in the very beginning of the game. He bombed it downfield, immediate catch. They got the ball rolling. There was immediate momentum for the Pirates. And that led to it was a missed field goal to start the game, but it was something different that we haven't seen all season, something that I feel like the Pirates have been waiting to see immediately all season. It was Chase Sowell with a 39-yard catch immediately to start off versus UTSA. They didn't know fully what to do, but then UTSA got the ball. They went down. They had a huge catch. They did score. So it was 7-0. But then we saw our Pirates bounce back. What did you think of seeing or looking into all that, seeing our offense bounce back, getting the momentum back? What did you think from that?
Yeah, I got to tell you, that first quarter was super exciting. We came out with energy. You know, what he mentioned, first play right off the bat, just a huge throw by Flynn.
Yeah.
So we got the ball rolling immediately. It was just a great first quarter overall. It was very exciting. And lots of scoring.
I love seeing
incredible.
that because I feel like we watch our games this season and it's immediately slow. The Pirates come out, you hope for momentum, but we haven't seen it. They've thrown in different quarterbacks. We've seen both Mason and Alex play throughout the season, but it seems like throughout the game, it's okay. Momentum slowing down. We're going to switch quarterbacks. That's not working. All right, we're going to switch quarterbacks back. But with Alex, they said, okay, let's start off this game. Let's bomb the ball down the field. Immediately big catch. You can see it. You can see the energy with the team immediately. Even after the missed field goal, I feel like they missed the field goal, but it wasn't like, oh my god,
it was a good drive. Yeah, like, nonetheless, even though we didn't come up with points.
Yeah, so that's what I love to see. I've been waiting for that all season, and we finally got it today. It wasn't the score that we were hoping for at the end of the game, but it was something from the offense that we've been waiting all season to see. 27 points. Yeah. I would have prayed for that the last few weeks. That's why I love that. I love seeing that.
Let's talk about the start, the QB decision to start Flynn.
Flynn, I love it. I think really Flynn, good. We've seen up and downs from both quarterbacks all season. It hasn't been a perfect season for either. Obviously, we've seen both of them come in. They told us coming into this game that we were going to see both Mason and Alex Flynn throughout the game. They said Alex Flynn would play pretty much most of the game, that he was going to get the start, and if he didn't have slow drives, then he would stay in. But they said they were going to key in and plug in Mason throughout the game. We did not see Mason the entire game.
Yeah, Flynn was just doing his thing, and why take him out?
Well, Mason got in. He got in towards the very end, but Alex had the momentum going into. That's why it wasn't Mason coming in the second quarter. Okay, it wasn't working. Put Alex back in. Mason plug in. Alex back in. And they gave Alex his chance. They gave him a chance. I thought he played well. He put up 235 yards. He put up a touchdown.
There's a few really big plays too, especially.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We saw him do things with his arm that we haven't seen all season. The way they were giving him a chance to ball. The thing is, it started off nice. They went back to what we've seen a lot with the screen passes. Screen pass,
a lot of screens.
Screen pass in the third quarter.
Too many screens.
Late second, early third quarter, it headed into the screen pass direction, which to a degree you like to see. When you want to mix them in every now and then, it can lead.
Yeah, I have nothing wrong with the screen pass, but the kind of back to back, it's
four in
like,
a row. It's
you get a couple yards and then it's usually just something to kind of gain.
Besides that, it was awesome. Jalen Johnson, in my opinion, who's been maybe the best player on the entire field for our team. Chase Sowell, I believe, still leads the team in receiving yards, but I absolutely loved watching Jalen Johnson play. In my humble opinion, I think he is one of, if not the best player on our team. He is a wonderful wide receiver, a transfer from Georgia. He's taking the bull by the horns. But he had another great game, a fantastic touchdown, back corner of the end zone. It was awesome to see that. I absolutely love it. Chase Sowell, a freshman heading into the season. I mean, look at that guy.
Yeah.
Leading all wide receivers in receiving yards. He's taking the bulls by the horn. Being a freshman, I mean, Jalen Johnson's a senior. That's doing one thing. But being a freshman and leading the team,
you got a bright future out of him.
absolutely bright future. I hope he stays here. I absolutely love what I'm seeing from him. Heading into the other players on the team, one highlight player that I thought was absolutely fantastic this past game was Mr. Wait one second, Mr. Deontay Johnson on the defensive line. Our defensive line showed up this game.
Mm-hmm.
You can say what you want about this defense. You can say what you want about the offense. The defensive line was absolutely fantastic in this game, especially compared to the rest of the season. We were bringing pressure the entire game. We saw some lackluster things from the secondary.
Yeah, well, I think the coverage was overall pretty solid. There was a few big things.
Yeah, that's the
let
thing
up,
is
but
we would let up.
goal line.
Yeah.
I remember specifically around the goal line. That's when they were really showing up.
Yeah, they would shine. And that's the thing is, I feel like the secondary would play solid for like a decent half of the game. They would just play good, and then they would let up just massive plays, that's what I felt like hurt us, was that we were our worst enemy throughout the entire game, because we would play good, the momentum would go our way, and then all of a sudden, bang, they break out something huge.
Yeah, there was definitely a
hurt us.
few really long runs that we kind of blew.
Yeah.
That was mainly the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Defense. I think the defense was looking solid overall, but there was definitely a few really long runs. I think there was one for like 69 yards.
There was like a 69 yard. That's the thing.
But it happens. Like you just miss a few tackles.
The defensive line was bringing pressure in the pass game, but when it came to the running game, they did give up. There was a few huge plays, and I mean the secondary, they let it up too. There was a few bombs down the field that they gave up throughout the game.
Yeah, and speaking of defense, Dontavius Nash pick 6.
Yeah, huge.
That was incredible.
Huge. Speaking of momentum, I think that was the biggest momentum change we had the entire game. What was that, beginning of the second half?
No, I think that was towards.
Well, I thought that was
the end of the first quarter. I'm pretty sure.
I thought that was the beginning of the second half, but that was fantastic. That was maybe the biggest defensive play we've made all season.
Talk about a packed first quarter.
Yeah,
I forgot that was even in the first quarter.
Yeah, was it? Yeah. I mean, looking back at this first quarter, 17-14.
17-14. Yeah.
That's just exciting to see.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that from the Pirates all season. Are you kidding me? Coming off of a 10-7 game, going 17-14 in the first quarter.
Yeah, we were up in the first quarter, I believe, at one point after the pick 6.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, no, they went up 14-7. We brought it back for 14-10. And then then he got the pick 6, 17-14. And so we headed into the second quarter of momentum. Yeah, we went up. We had a very good first half. It looked like it was going to be a
And shout out to UTSA. Like they're a good football team.
Yeah. They played us nice. Especially
they're on a 4-game win streak, I believe now.
Yeah.
Really high up in the conference.
Yeah.
They might make it
3-game win streak heading into it. They end up taking it now, 4-game win streak. They played good football. I'm not gonna lie, especially second half. That was amazing football. Back into it, we got Joshua Cephas for UTSA had a absolutely massive game. Yeah. I gotta give it to him.
Yeah, we gotta give it.
He's got on the game he had 4 receptions for 183 yards and a touchdown. He had that huge reception to start off the game. 2 huge receptions to start off the game. One in the first quarter that I believe went for about, let's look at it right here, 39 yards to start off the game. Second quarter, he came in, had another huge catch or 84-yard touchdown.
84 yards.
I mean, good God. That's what I mean when I'm saying our secondary made plays, but then they just had a few plays where they just gave up something huge, right? Just out of nowhere, they would bomb the ball down the field, or they'd get through the line, and then the secondary couldn't get anything.
They had a good sack though too in the second quarter.
12-yard
loss. Yeah,
that was one of the biggest defensive plays of the entire game.
We had some very big defensive plays. The pick 6, the 12-yard sack. Yeah, like you said, they
were just bringing pressure through. I think that's what I love to see. Is football starts in the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. You win games if you can protect your quarterback and also get to their quarterback. That's how you win football games. That's exactly what we did for most of the game. We had some leakage in the offensive line, but overall, first quarter, I liked what we saw from them. And throughout the game, the defensive, I loved it. I love seeing that pressure. I feel like we haven't seen that all season. There were positives in this game. We're a 1-7 ball club. That's just the hard truth. That's what it is. But at the end of the day, there were things to look at and say, I was happy with that throughout the game.
Yeah, and within at the end of the first quarter, we were looking like we were maybe like a 5-3 ball game or something like that.
A solid team,
like
a solid team.
We were
even
playing
if even if it's losing 4-3 or 3-4, whatever. But it was a solid outing. Something that I looked at, and there was things that we could be proud of, especially because the last few weeks it's been really lackluster. Like it's like you go against UNCC. People think going into it that there's a real chance the Pirates could pull it off. I definitely thought we could do it.
But
and
you definitely hate to see it
pulled
come
off,
down
but
to a field goal.
yeah.
Like you never
But
like to
I
see.
don't blame that on him. It was a
No.
really long field goal, especially for a college kicker.
He had another attempt after the first drive. It was like a career long.
Yeah.
And he almost had it.
Yeah,
It was on the way.
Close. It came
He just
close.
didn't have enough power behind it.
Yeah,
But
we definitely could have had that game. That's why I love coming into this and looking strong. They could have came out of the last game and it could have been so slow. Like it could have been, that's it. That's the season. No momentum. But they came out and Alex Flynn bombed the ball down the field. And that's absolutely what I love to see. Just to get a tiny bit away from the football aspect.
We got to mention the gritty, Mason.
We got to mention the gritty.
It's a very important part of the game.
One of the San Antonio players caught a fair catch on their side of the field. Absolutely nothing impressive. Maybe the least impressive thing you can do.
Caught the ball.
Waving your hand for a fair catch, catching the ball. Yeah. And then he decided to hit the gritty afterwards. The announcers called it out because they called it out because they didn't understand it either. There was absolutely no reason. I've never seen a more unneeded gritty in my life. That's all I'm going to say.
I just think it's really worth mentioning because it wasn't like a big play or a touchdown. It was possibly the most easy thing you could do.
Yeah, I don't know the fella's name. I mean, that's the second easiest thing. Even the announcer was like,
besides hitting the gritty right now?
Yeah. You can kneel the ball, you can spike the ball, and then you can fair catch. Those are the three easiest things to do. And I wouldn't gritty after any of them. But you guys won the games. I mean, do what you want.
Yeah, do what you want. That was.
We're gonna get back into the football, but we had to mention. We had to say something about it. All right, so we came out. Second half, we lost the momentum. We came into the game. It looked fantastic. I loved what I saw. Second half was rough. We had some, like I said, defensive line throughout the game. I love the pressure that we brought, but I didn't love what we saw from the Pirates in the second half. We just lost it. Chase Sowell had a fourth quarter touchdown at the very end of the game, but I mean the game is done at that point. Yeah. That just brought it to 41-27. I believe that was like under a minute left. We saw a wait 1 second. Something that really frustrated me. One of our running backs, Kamaro Edmonds, I believe is how you pronounce his name. They had a tackle. I don't know if you remember this. They had a tackle where they spun him around and his knee did not go down. He was not down on that play, and he had not a completely open field after that. Got you. Not a completely open field after they spun him around, but he had enough room to run to the end zone.
And they whistled it dead.
And they whistled
it dead. He even knew it. He ran to the end zone.
Yeah, he ran all the way in. He had like 20 yards to go, but he could have made it without a doubt. They showed him. That really frustrated me because that could have been a completely different ball game.
That could have been a momentum changer.
Because I don't believe we scored. We didn't score after he ran that in. I think we were trying to get momentum. We were trying to bring it back. And I think we may have went for it on fourth down. I can't remember exactly what happened, but we didn't score after that on that drive. That would have brought the game, ladies and gentlemen, at that point, it was 34-20, a 14-point ball game. That could have brought it to one score.
Yeah.
If they would have, and they played the replay. I mean, there's nothing you can do. Once you call the whistle after that, you can't reverse that and be like, okay, it was a touchdown because he ran the ball to the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know how you missed that. It was so clear to me. We were watching on the TV, and I thought
we pointed at the TV.
I was like, I thought he made one of the biggest plays of the season because they spun around and he didn't land it. That was one of the most frustrating plays I've seen all season. Just because that could have changed the entire game. Looking back at it, because I mean, speaking of momentum, that changes everything because you think, oh, it's a touchdown, the Pirates are back, and then it's like, wow, we really could have had it. I'm not going to say the refs screwed us, quote unquote, but like that's sitting in the back of everyone's head is like, wow, what could have been on that play, and then you don't score from the drive. All of a sudden, you're heading into the rest of the game. You're like, once again, what could have been? What could have happened right there? That was really frustrating to see. I think we see a lot different final score than we did if that play would have scored. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and there was also another mistake by the officials where there was no flag thrown at first on that brutal helmet-to-helmet collision. You remember that?
Oh my God.
We were both watching this. We stood up and we were like,
that was ridiculous. They reviewed it.
That was brutal.
They reviewed it and they threw a flag.
But at first there was no flag and we were just like, I cannot believe it.
Holy crap, not throwing a flag immediately on that. That was one of the worst helmets I have seen in a long time. He got bopped.
Shout out for taking it.
He got popped. I can't remember.
I would not. I would have been out.
Oh my God. What do you know what that player's name was? I'm trying to bring no, I don't know what the player's name was. They ejected the UTSA player.
Yeah.
That was
which
ridiculous.
On
the play, on the play.
That was my first thought. Get him out of the game.
Yeah, immediately. It's like get him out. I mean, they went to tackle him. He missed. He broke off the tackle. And then
it was straight, just dome to dome.
Yeah, after he broke up the tackle, he kind of turned around, which I'm not going to say like that's his fault. He was trying to make a play. He turned around and then immediately helmet to helmet. I was like, oh my God. I thought he was going to be out. I thought either this guy's going to be knocked out. They're going to take him out. I mean, I don't know if they took him back for concussion testing, but like, good Lord.
Yeah. They should.
They should at
least
need to take him out.
Give him a little test just to make sure.
Yeah. But they ejected the player, which I mean, I think it was right to do. At least they threw the flag.
Just no flag at first is kind of
having
insane.
to review that. Yeah, because I thought that was so clear. Watching on the TV, you could hear the pop. That was insane. Just to really quickly go back to our kicker. What's his name again? Let's see. What's this guy's name? Andrew Conrad, I believe. Andrew Conrad. He did hit his career long this game. So congratulations.
Good stuff.
Andrew Conrad went for his career long last week versus UNCC.
He went through another career long in the first quarter, the first drive.
Yeah.
We mentioned he almost had it.
Yeah.
There was just not enough power. It was
but he hit it today. Let's at least give him some props. Yeah. There we go. Moving up in the ranks. Last season we saw some missed kicks cost us some games.
Mason, I don't really want to think about that.
Yeah,
but it might be worth it. We got to
specifically the NC State game. Let's go over that because I think that lives in all of our nightmares. Yeah. A lot of us were there for that. I was watching that game.
I've still never heard the end of it from my friends at NC State.
Yeah,
they won't let it go.
I don't think that's going to last for the rest of our lives.
But again, we say unfortunately, some games have to come down to kicks.
Yeah.
And you never like to see that.
It's a lot of pressure.
Because it could be either way at that point.
My knees would be shaky.
Yeah. Shout out to kickers.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it. The Panthers got their first win today, the kicker yesterday.
Yeah,
the kicker was walking out and I was like, I cannot believe how one guy has to, decide the game. But shout out to kickers though.
Let's do a quick shout out just for Carolina sports. The Panthers.
Yeah.
Panthers got a win yesterday, ladies and gentlemen.
Feels good.
So let's just put that out.
Shout out to the Panthers.
Big Panthers win. But I mean that was most of the game. I mean it really just
there was a lot less scoring, I think, on both sides even in the second half. There was I remember there was a lot of punts. In the first half it kind of seems like there was scoring every single drive.
I know. UTSA did score though. They put points.
They did, but I just remember a specific time in the second half where it was just punts and punts.
Yeah,
back
there were points.
That's when the defense started showing up.
Yeah,
like both sides.
Yeah.
So,
but overall, it really just felt like we were our own worst enemy in this game because we would get the momentum back. We would have a big play. We would score, and it was like, wow, the Pirates are here. And then just immediately give it up. And I'm talking immediately. Like we would score next drive and massive play right away for UTSA, which I just hated to see that because it felt like, wow, like we're here. And then all of a sudden, one of them was that what's his name again? The player for UTSA that went off, Mr. Joshua Cephas. One of them was we scored. I believe it was a touchdown. And then next drive was his 85-yard reception. That was just rough to see. I mean, within 5 minutes of each other, not even 5-minute game time, real life time.
Yeah.
It was 5-minute real life
time. Went down to check my phone on the kickoff, and he was running down the field, 80-something yards?
Yeah, I'm talking like 1 minute game time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So overall, I think the first half especially was some really good football by the Pirates. We came out with some energy. And then it kind of slowed down towards the end of the game. But I think Flynn, the defense, there's a lot of great stuff going on in that first half, especially the first quarter when it was a lot of scoring. Yeah,
I was very happy with what we saw this game compared to the last 2 or 3 games.
Absolutely. It was way more exciting than what we've been seeing.
Alex Flynn came out. He showed off his arm. He bombed it. That's what we love to see.
It was a weight, too. Their stadium was insane, by the way.
Yeah.
Every time there was a touchdown, it turned dark and
beautiful stadium.
Cool.
I didn't even know UTSA has a dome. I mean, I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't the most famous school in the nation. We're not talking Alabama.
Yeah.
So I didn't know they had that nice of a stadium. Beautiful stadium.
Shout out to them though. That stadium was crazy. Yeah. I was not expecting a
very
dome.
Good game. But Alex Flynn, I mean, I loved what we compared to the last few weeks. It felt like it felt like that quarterback room just didn't have any momentum coming out of it. But they came out this game, and I loved what we saw. At least from the quarterback. He had an interception. He had a second half. So that is what it is.
So
Overall, I mean, overall team loss. It was a loss, ladies and gentlemen, which you don't like to see. You don't want to see a loss. So I'm not going to walk away saying I'm happy with the end
but
result.
UTSA, really good football team. I think we put up
they're on a
fairly
win
good
streak.
fight.
Yeah,
A lot of things
yeah.
that we did good, a lot of things to work
Yeah.
on.
Coming off of what we've seen a lot this season, it's been a lot of negative. So to see some positive, to see defensive line play how they did, to see Flynn come out and put up 253 yards, I mean, I was happy with that. I would have liked to walk away with a win. It looked like we could have done it.
If we kept the momentum going, I think it
Yeah, we could have had it. It just didn't work out. Shout out Maceo. Works right here at ECU Sports
Absolutely.
Network. If you go to our Instagram, I believe the clip will be into this YouTube video as well. If you go to our Instagram, you can find a clip he took at the corner of the end zone when Jalen Johnson scored a touchdown. Fantastic clip. Maceo was right there for all of it.
He was right there.
Lucky guy. It was a good game. It was a good game to watch. I know he was excited to be there. But yeah, overall, ladies and gentlemen, we liked what we saw from the Pirates.
We will be back.
We will be back
at home.
I believe we'll be doing this every Monday. I'm not positive when the episodes will be going up. I think it will be on Mondays, though. It will be
Probably
today. It will be going up, and I believe we'll be doing this every Monday, recapping your Pirate football. This Saturday, though, at 3:30, we have the Pirates going against Tulane at home, ladies and gentlemen. You guys better be there. 3:30, bringing the energy. After what we saw this past week, hopefully we can expect a lot more from this offense. Hopefully they come out, they have momentum. But all right, also this Monday, we have a home basketball game. The basketball season is back, ladies and gentlemen. Very excited for that against Furman. I believe the time is at 3:30, not 3:30. 7 p.m. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the basketball season is restarting this Monday.
Yes.
Very excited to see Pirate basketball back at 7 p.m. versus Furman.
Lots of good stuff coming up. Make sure to tune in.
Yes. Like we said at the beginning of the episode, this is the Pirate 30, where we're going to recap all of your ECU sports in 30 minutes or less. It was nice talking to you guys. We'll see you guys this Monday.
See you
Next Monday.